Hi, and welcome to this new tutorial, and today I want to talk about techno rumbles. I have here this pattern, and let me mute some element. This is the bass, and this is the rumble. Hear how much energy we are leaving on the ground when we are muting the rumble. Rumble is one of those elements that when they are on, you can barely hear, but when they are off, you can definitely hear that something is missing. So they are pretty important in a techno situation. Of course, not every techno genre use rumbles, but it's a technique that it's good to know. I don't want to build this pattern from scratch, but I want to focus on rumble. So we can start with the kick, and the first thing I want to do is to lay down a 4 on the floor just to have a tempo reference. Nice, we have our little pattern going on. Now let's copy this sample here, because I usually start from the kick itself, and I want to first thing lower it down on pitch, and the first effects I want to use is the reverb. Now yeah, let's resample the kick with the reverb. Nice. Now I want to pitch down again this sample here. Let's delete the old one. And now let's use a delay just to have the first reflection. Now, if we want to tune the delay, we have to activate the pattern and write a pattern. I want the same, maybe and let's lower a little bit, 2 and 4. Nice. Now we can use different rhythm of the delay. Nice. I think we can resample first the pattern, so we have the reverb print on the pad itself. So let's copy cool. I think I copied on the wrong, yeah, let's copy here. So this is really the first step. Let's exchange, copy, and now we have to reset this sequence here. So let's erase every step on the sequence. You can erase the step on the page by hitting delete and the AF button. If you hit the BG, you clear the steps in all the sequence, so also for the other parts, so be aware of that. And now So now we can use the delay. We have just print the we have just print the reverb, which was on the pad yet. Nice. We have hit a little bit the output, so it's a little bit distorted on the delay, but it doesn't matter because I sometimes want to hit the limit of the output of the ESP, which, by the way, is internally at least is not that high. We don't have that much headroom internally. Just to have a little bit more grit. Let's leave like this. Now, we can use a filter or we can use a distortion or both. Let's say we want to use a filter first, so we can tame a little bit the high frequency that we don't need. We have to set the bus. We can use the LFO on the filter or not. And with the LFO, it's a little bit maybe nice, maybe a little less. Let's resample. Cool. Now it's time to use the distortion. Let's first delete all that stuff. Nice. And oops, let's this one here, we need only one trig because it's a loop. Yeah, there's something going on right now underneath the kick, but we can do more, of course, and we have to do more. Now we can start using the distortion, and we have to be really careful about distortion, and we have also different kind of distortion. That's the overdrive. But it takes off a little bit too much of the low end, so I don't really like. We have the distortion, which the tone is acting like a tilt EQ. So you can have a lot of low hands, and this is not bad. Then you can mix a little bit with the balance. So we are doing basically parallel distortion. And we have also the lo-fi distortion, which acts a little bit differently because we have basically a pre-filter which we can drive, and the type of lo-fi, so basically different preset. And again here the tone control is acting more like a tilt EQ. So it really depends on what you want to achieve. In this case, I want to use the distortion, which gives me this really fat low end, but it's not too messy. So let's resample. Yeah, and we can exchange. Yeah, it's not bad, right? We can do, of course, more. Let's delete that one, and we want to add a little bit of compression. Just for the volume, but also for the compression itself. If you're listening, this is not only adding volume, but you can feel a little bit more of the movement because of the settings of the compressor. The slow attack and fast release allow us to have this little pumping effect and have a clear transient pass through the compressor, so we don't lose the punch. Nice. Cool. Now let's exchange. It's a little bit too much on the mid frequency, so we can use an equalizer. And let's pick the right frequency. On the low end, I want the 80, and the mid frequency I want to cut up is around 400, I think, between 250 and 400 usually. And let's leave the high frequency at 4K. Okay, it's too low, so we have to maybe on. Yeah, here we go. I want to roll off this frequency here, which is annoying, and we don't have anything on 4K because we have used a filter. So let's try to see. Yeah, there's something on 2K. Yeah, let's resample. It's less annoying, it's more narrowed. And now let's add a little bit of volume with the compressor. This is a little bit too much, I think. Yeah, let's resample again. Let's exchange. Delete these two. And now we can use the This is it. We can continue to use effects. You can use different effects to achieve different kinds of results. But this is the basic concept. You can start from the kick sample, pitch it down until you like. There's no rules here. Then the key elements are reverbs and delays. And then you want to add distortion, filtering, and all kinds of effects. But this is the basic workflow to achieve a very basic but very effective techno rumble inside the ESP404. This was a quick one for today. And I hope this will be useful to you. If you need samples, just check my Gumroad page, as long as my services like mixing and mastering your track. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye!